crackdown on Switzerland's status as a tax haven is also driving wealthy clients away. The settlement between UBS and the U.S. government is ongoing. Well, the bank is expected to hand over details of more than 4,000 offshore American accounts. And to discuss this and, of course, where Switzerland is headed as a tax haven, has its tax status coming to an end. Well, joining us now live from Geneva is Darlene Hart. She's the CEO of U.S. Tax and Financial Services. Darlene, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Now, it did seem when there was a disagreement between Switzerland and the U.S. that it would mark an end to the desirability for having an account in Switzerland, but it doesn't seem that that's quite the case.
I agree with you. To be honest with you, Switzerland still has an awful lot to offer. To be honest, how many banks in the United States have gone belly up in the past year or 2 years? How many banks in Switzerland have gone belly up? Switzerland is seen as not just a tax haven, but I think it's more in safety. You have a great deal of safety here, and then there are many reasons why people have privacy or want privacy, not necessarily hiding money from the U.S. government, but let's say not all governments are as friendly as the U.S. In some respects. So I think Switzerland is very much of a safe haven for still quite a few investors and a lot of money. And
Darlene,
just because
this tax evasion saga is continuing, that now you have different European countries trying to buy this potentially stolen data. Is this something that the U.S. would, for example, like to acquire, or is this just too difficult territory?
You know, that's a tough one, because the U.S. government has its own, they pay whistleblowers. So what's the difference between paying someone who's blowing the whistle on one of their friends, neighbors, or relatives, or colleagues, who knows what, or disgruntled, spouses, or, boyfriends and girlfriends, to paying for stolen data? Now, I don't know that the U.S. government is actually interested in buying stolen data, but I'm not sure where the line is drawn.
But the U.S. was hoping to get so many more names, Darlene. Are they disappointed with what they have so far? Because the Swiss government has handed over names, but actually very few names, and of people that don't even have accounts with their banks anymore.
Well, see, that's just it. This whole issue of UBS handing over 4,450 names and 280 names earlier last year, those are clients who are no longer and haven't been clients of UBS for quite a few years. So that means that they are clients of other banks if they had hidden money. And all of the data that has come through for the 14,000 people who have come forward shows that there are an awful lot of banks out there who are dealing with clients who did not necessarily report their assets to the U.S. government. So it's widening the net as far as the U.S. is concerned. And to be honest with you, the U.S. government's done a pretty good job in being very lenient with quite a few of the people who have come forward. So,
Darlene, just a very last question. Is Switzerland going to go back to operate like they did for the last 30 and 40 years after this whole tax evasion saga quietly goes away?
I doubt it. Those days are long gone. I really don't think so. A lot of the Swiss banks are coming forward and not dealing with, first of all, American clients, but not dealing, they want clean money nowadays. They're not interested in continuing to hide. I'm sure there are a few banks out there who will, but...
All right. Darlene, thank you so much for joining us.